This is a Circle Line train via Paddington and Baker Street. The next station is Paddington.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
I recently returned from my first ever trip to London. Joining me on this trip is my fiancée, Vanessa, my younger brother Ziad, my dear friend Carolyn and her partner Alan, who both live there, and Vanessa's dad John, who tagged along on this trip. But before I get into all the boring details, let me show you what we ate. Our trip started on March 2nd. We took American Airlines Flight 134 from LAX to London Heathrow. We landed at around 1 p.m. and we were pretty tired from our trip, so we relaxed in our Airbnb for a few hours before going out to dinner at DiMario, an Italian restaurant in Kensington. After dinner, we hopped on the infamous red buses and rode around the city, and hopped off in Westminster to take a look at Big Ben and the London Eye, and then we called it a night. The next day we got up and left around 9:30 in the morning. We wanted to walk around Kensington, take in the sights, and then make our way back to Paddington to meet up with a couple of Ziad's friends before they left London. We went to a place called Bondi Greens for breakfast. Vanessa's dad joined us for a bit, and it was great because him and Shannon actually bonded over both being clarinet players. We said goodbye and made our way towards Tower Bridge. This is where we'd meet up with Carolyn. I hadn't seen her for like 4 years, so I said to her,
"I'm coming for you." Hello.
We grabbed some coffee and walked around for a bit. John was feeling a little bit tired, so he left in a cab and said he'd meet up with us for dinner. We kept walking around, taking in the sights, and made our way to Dishoom, an Indian restaurant in Covent Garden, and probably my favorite meal of the trip. We walked around some more, went to a few pubs, and called it around 2 a.m. The next day we started pretty late. Around 11 a.m. we headed towards Abbey Road, and of course we all walked across the street. We were getting pretty hungry, so for lunch we headed to the Seashell of Lisson Grove for some authentic fish and chips. And then we left and headed towards Notting Hill to take a look at the coloured buildings and walk through the market. Today was the most special day of the trip, but I'll get to that in a minute. We started off the day playing tourist. We went back to Big Ben just to get some shots on the camera. And this Uber boat going under.
Dude, you're good. 1, 2, 3.
We took in all the sights and made our way towards Trafalgar Square.
Vanessa, cool.
And from there, we made our way towards Buckingham Palace. And while we were here, we were fortunate enough to see the changing of the guards, first time in 2 years. From there, we headed back home to drop off our stuff before heading towards the main event of the day. We are here for the Game Music Festival concert, where we listen to the music of Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest.
A video.
Here's a little bit of the music of Cuphead. We left the hall around 9:30 and called it a night. For our final day, we started with some coffee at Monocle, suggested to us from our friend Ida, who grew up right around the corner. From there, we made our way towards Borough Market, and boy, I wish I captured all the food we ate here. And from here, we relaxed in our Airbnb for a little bit and made our last stop at the Natural History Museum. This was an incredible trip, one that I'll never forget, with friends, family, and loved ones. London, I can't wait to come back. Thanks for watching.